Hey, what up, world? This is Poets the King, and I want to talk about the massacre that happened in my hometown of Buffalo, New York. Um, it happened at Tops Supermarket up on Jefferson Avenue. So it was reported on the news that that an 18-year-old Caucasian kid by the name of Peyton. His last name I don't know how to pronounce this shit, but who gives a shit anyway? So he's a coward, right? So he killed 10 of my people, senseless, right? Just because he hated my race. So I when I first heard about it, I really at first, when you hear something about something like that, you're like, it don't really hit you. But when I seen it on the news and when I drove down Best Street. For everybody know who lives in Buffalo, y'all know when you drive down Best Street, you can see right down to Jefferson, especially where the Tops was. So I seen all the cops down there, and it it hit me a little bit, but I still was like kind of still in disbelief that it did happen. So when I got to my brother's house and we seen it on the news, then it really hit me. It was like, man, this shit really went down, right? So I want to talk specifically to my peoples. I think this is a moment where we can learn from it, right? Because one, um, this is a situation that happens to our people quite often. Now, may not be the massacre, but I mean, we've been killed in other ways, you know. Um, Man, I'm sorry. It's kind of hard to really talk about this shit, But this shit really pissed me off, man. And I really was like, damn, man, we can't get no peace. We can't, you know, we can't survive out here, but we can survive out here. And I don't want to say that harshly to my peoples, but I just want to say this. Um, I really feel that what happened was planned. Okay, now this is my opinion, and from the reporting, I'm using this as fair use. Okay, so I feel that this kid planned this whole thing. All right, so let's keep it a buck. He was a white supremacist who was targeting black people, who wanted to take black people out. Okay, so I think we gotta learn from this, my peoples. You gotta learn from this. We gotta stop taking things for granted. Um, and what I mean by learning from this is, one, I'm gonna say like this, man. All right, so, and this is my opinion only. So this massacre happens. This coward kills 10 of my people, comes out, and when you look at the news and you look and see, you look at him and you look at his eyes, he had no remorse for what he did. And to me, that's the sign of the devil. Right? Um, so what I want to say to my people is that we gotta learn from this shit. We have to learn, and we have to start being more strategic in how we move. The reason why I say that is because if you look at it, all right, here's an example, right? You had Kathy Hochul and you had Byron Brown, the two top politicians in New York State. They was up there talking about the massacre on the news. Okay, so if you guys out there don't know that this is actually election year, so what I want to say about politics, okay, let's just keep it on a subject of politics. All right, so you have your top politicians. You got Kathy Hochul, who is the governor of the state of New York, and you have Byron Brown, who is the mayor of Buffalo, New York. All right, so if you guys didn't know, to my peoples, now I'm specifically talking to my peoples again. I want to reiterate that I'm talking to my peoples only. Okay, so you got Kathy Hochul, you have Byron Brown, mayor of Buffalo. Now, for all my peoples who don't know, Kathy Hochul and her administration had just passed a bill not too long ago, this year, to protect the Asian and Pacific Islanders from hate crimes. Okay? Where's the hate crime bill for African Americans? Kathy Hochul, Byron Brown. This was just a massacre that just happened. And shit, we getting killed every day. But where's the hate crime bill for African Americans, for black people? So listen, my peoples, I challenge all of us to send an email to Kathy Hochul, send an email to Byron Brown, and just straight up say, yo, where is our hate crime bill? Black African Americans. And see what excuse they come up with. See what type of excuse. And then add into your email and say, hey, you just passed a bill for the Asian and Pacific Islanders. Where the hell is the black and African American hate crime bill? See what they say. because I'm definitely going to send them both an email. And I just look at it like, yo, this is election year. You know, Kathy Hochul want to get reelected. Well, she wants to be elected as governor because she's actually replacing Cuomo. But this is election year, y'all. You really think these now this is my opinion. You really honestly think these politicians give a shit about us? No, they don't. So think about it for a minute. Why do we continuously vote for Democrats? Like, let's just keep it a buck right now. Why do we continuously vote for the Democratic Party? They ain't got our best interest. And then when we vote, do we really go to the voting booth knowing who the candidate we're voting for and what are they gonna do for our people? Nah. Y'all know the truth. You know we don't go vote for. We just vote Democrat just cause we've been doing that for years upon years. That's the way we vote. We don't strategically think about uh, voting for a candidate that's going to do for us, that's going to help us, that's going to help pass bills that's going to benefit us specifically. Now, don't get on the trick bag of when they say black and brown. We got to do for black and brown. No, black people, African Americans specifically, nobody else, because they are going to hit you with the, oh well, we do for the black and brown. No, man, that's bullshit, right? So listen, I want to say this, man. We do got to get more smarter, because one, me and my brother, I'm gonna say this. Me and my brother, who was having a conversation about this situation, and we was talking about um, how our people don't get. Now I'm talking in riddles, so if y'all don't get it, man, let's just say I hope you do get it, right? So I was talking to my brother about getting why don't our people get permits for power tools, right? Why don't they get their license for power tools? And I was basically kicking with him and basically trying to break it down like, yo, the system is designed because basically we have the strictest laws when it comes to power tools. Okay, the strictest. Now I can only talk for about New York State. Period. I can't talk for no other state. I only can talk for miles. So why don't I was basically talking to my brother about why don't our people just all the law abiding citizens just get their permit or license for a power tool? And he said, well, because he's like, we got to be accountable for ourselves and for ourselves individually for doing that. And I thought about what he was saying. I was like, yeah, you know what? You are absolutely right. We do have to be accountable for ourselves, and protecting ourselves, and that's absolutely right. So, what I want to say to my peoples, you guys really need to, for all the law-abiding citizens of my peoples, you guys need to go out and get your power tools permit and power tools license. Okay, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. Now, another thing too, when it's dealing with politics, we as a people need to be more strategic in thinking far as the politicians that we vote for, because we have to get out of the mindset of voting for politicians or voting for a party who don't even have our best interests, but who front like they do. So we need to really start um, researching these politicians. Especially, this is election year, so these politicians gonna be all in the news when something happens. Boom, they there, right? But any other time they not there. So we need to really be mindful of what's really going on out here, man. We need to be more. I know politics is boring as hell, but at the same time, we still need to know what's going on in politics, because politics is basically what controls this world. Um, so we we need to study politics. We really need to understand. We need to know about our politicians. We need to know who we're actually voting for and what actually benefits our people, not all others, our people specifically. We need to get out of that mindset of thinking, oh, well, we need to think about others. No, we need to think about ourselves. Now, do other races think about themselves when they go to the voting booth? They think about their race, about what's going to benefit them. And we need to start thinking that way as well. So on a political level, all right. So I'm gonna hit y'all with this. I'm gonna hit y'all with this gem real quick. Okay. So let's just go with the basketball theme. Okay. All right. Let's say your shorty is aspiring to be a basketball star or a basketball player, right? Professionally, right? Okay, so let's say, all right, he's scouted by all the top Ivy League schools. Okay, so have you guys ever thought about why does the Ivy League schools come into our hood to take our youth? Right? So check out how this game is ran, right? So they take your child out of your hood. That's a resource that's lost. That's one of the sources of us that's gone, right? So they take them to their college. They make billions off of them. They get them crumbs. At first it was they wasn't giving them shit. But now I guess the courts had ruled that it was basically an unfair practice that was going on. Go figure. But at the same time, they're still getting crumbs. So they go to Ivy League college, they make them billions. Then they're shipped off to the NBA. If they make it to the NBA, if they're good enough to make it to the NBA, they go to the NBA. They ain't taught shit about no money or how money works in the NBA. Come on, man. Why you think there's so many broke niggas out here who done went to the NBA, went there, balled out, lost their money, and broke his shit? Come on, man. They take our resources out of our hoods all the time, man. And then they individualize us. We don't think as a group. We don't think as a team. You know, All other cultures think as a team. We don't strategize as a team. We think about individual. We think about individual gains. That's how this government play us. Like you got one person out of many. Oh, he made it out of the hood, but do he come back to the hood and help his community? I mean, you rarely see that, right? So I just wanted to make a short video, man. I wanted to talk about the massacre that happened in Buffalo, New York, my hometown. I just wanted to give my views. I wanted to express what I was feeling, and I want to see my people do better. I want to see my people uh, think differently, man. Cause this world ain't kind, man. This country ain't kind. You know, we definitely not free. A lot of us think we are, but we really not. So, with that being said, I want you guys, I want my people to be safe out here. I want you guys to keep your eyes open. And I want us to start thinking with this head here, with the brain, because God gave us the brain to think, to protect ourselves. This is our weapon. A lot of us don't even use it. So, with that said, you guys, I want to say be safe out there. And I want to say again to the family members who lost their loved ones, I want to send my prayers, my blessings, my condolences, and my love. So, with that being said, I do want to say peace, love, but it seems that my people can't never get peace. And we can't never get love neither. So I'm just going to end this video, and I'm going to say, let's just get wiser. Let's get out of the matrix. Let's strategize. And let's keep our eyes open. I'm out this bitch.